Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Star Trek episode review. We are here tonight talking about The Lower Decks, Season 4, Episode 7, A Few Badgys More. I am Major Rage, and I'm here tonight, joined by my usual Trekkies in arms. I have to my right, Sleepy Zam. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing my best to stay awake.
We appreciate you being here. We know it's late as hell in the UK. We will be.
No, it's not that late. It's not even midnight yet. It's 11:30. But a boomer like me, I should have gone to bed 3 hours ago.
No, that's late for people our age.
Yeah, exactly.
Below him, we have Awake Zam. How are you this evening, sir?
I am super awake and ready to go, mate. Oh, anyway. Good. By the way, Daniel Vance has buttons. Don't know what kind of buttons, but he has buttons.
Excellent. Excellent. Glad to hear Daniel Vance is here. Thanks to everybody who's joined us this evening. So we're talking about this week's episode, A Few Badgys More, where the Cerritos is sent to investigate the destruction of a Binar ship. We see some familiar previous adversaries crop up at that situation, and as Tindy and Boimler go to the Daystrom Institute. So
you're talking about a pre-title sequence here.
I was just doing a kind of general description of the episode.
Okay, sorry.
I'm trying to do a general synopsis, sorry. But we can get some general thoughts and then move on to talking about that intro sequence a little bit. I usually start to the right, but I got called out last week for always starting with Zam. So Awake Zam, what were your overall impressions of this week's episode?
Well, mate, something's going right now. I thought this was a great episode. I thought that I still don't like Peanut Hamper. I never really have. She's annoying, but she was honestly not in this a lot, so I was very happy about that. So I'm very happy that that we got to spend some more time with what's the name of the robot? Jeffrey Combs bot. I mean, that's
Agamus.
Agamus, yeah.
Agamus. It was so great to have Agamus back. I had just rewatched the Agamus episode, the first one, recently. So it was just like, yes, more of him. It's one of the best Lower Decks episodes, in my opinions.
But no, it's always great to have our boy Jeffrey Combs back. Always, we love Jeffrey Combs forever and always. I'm sorry if there's anyone bigger than, I don't know. Jeffrey Combs is just one of those that you can never really lose with, in my opinion.
No, the creme de la creme of Star Trek guest stars.
Daniel Vance, you stopped hitting the buttons. You got to keep hitting those buttons. He's on our YouTube chat. There's now buttons. So there's like a heart, 100, the celebration things.
I'm gonna pull it up and mute it. I gotta see these emotes.
He had been hitting them nonstop until just then. Oh, and he started again. That's right. You must love, celebrate, be shocked, and say 100 and laugh at all of our stuff. So anyway.
So okay. Enjoyed the episode then. But
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. Zam, how about you, Sleepy Zam? What were your overall impressions of this week's installment?
I loved it. I did recall mentioning something about AIs and stuff like that coming together. That wasn't necessarily. Sorry.
You just did bring that up last week. Bring up previous AI antagonists.
I thought it was a while back, but nevertheless,
maybe a little bit.
I know I brought it up. I know I also brought it up a couple.
It came up. Yeah, we've kicked that around a lot this season, and so they did crop back up.
They kind of put my theory to bed, though. My my theory was that Badgy was responsible for the ship. So I mean, honestly, at this point, they've kind of put the theory to bed that it might still be an AI from the Daystrom Institute prison, whatever you want to call it, but I don't know, it might be something different.
Could be something different.
I mean, with that cold opening, I always thought that ship that was going around killing all these aliens was AI itself. But regarding the episode, we were following various, in the main plot as well as the subplot. We were following lots of different AI individual creatures and stuff like that. I don't think they will necessarily play a prominent role in the finale. But one thing I did notice in this series is that finally we got two different pairings. The two pairings that we haven't had yet in Lower Decks. We had Mariner and Rutherford, and Tendi and Boimler.
I was going to bring that up, and I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. How do you?
It's about time they got paired up. Well, it just has to happen for the sake of happening and whatever context it may be. So I'm just glad that everyone's now paired up with everybody at some point. In this,
they both make a good duo. They play off each other well, complement, and kind of compare and contrasting types of styles and characters in each of those duos. I enjoyed seeing each of them together.
No Leon, by the way. Was it Leon?
Talin.
Sorry, Talin. Leon was somebody else, my bad.
That she's on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, sorry. All these fucking names. No Talin, yeah. So
I mean that is a point. I mean, it's kind of weird that they were trying to build her up as kind of like a part of the group, but yet she hasn't been there for 2 whole episodes. They
do that sometimes in Star Trek in general. Like you see that Asian officer who seemed like she was one of the pilots in Strange New Worlds. I mean, I've forgotten her fucking name.
Yeah, but they based a whole episode on Talin, like what, two episodes ago?
Yeah.
It was a whole episode about her, pretty much. I mean, I think there was a little
fucking. And what's her face? Hocus Pocus as well. She would disappear a couple of episodes. And the engineer from
going to
Discovery.
Stabilize the warp core.
Yeah. Exactly. So.
Hello, Nerdiverse. Welcome. This is Zam's Sleepy Time.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Okay. So yeah, we need to talk about the opening sequence, and then we can just, as we're talking about it further, we can just maybe kick around one more theory or two about what's going on. The scene at the beginning with the Binar ship.
Are you guys getting just a bit fed up of seeing this alien ship going around, just killing random, Star Trek aliens? Like it's like the same trope.
Not really.
Fucking cold opening.
They're slowly building the season plot, and I feel like having it consistently in the episodes is a good thing.
No, but
it's the same thing. I see.
It's the same thing. Like not much has progressed with this same thing of significance, and like it seems to be okay. Fine, we'll blow some people up, and then we won't give a shit about them for the whole fucking episode. That's all it seems to be.
I'm okay with it. I like the little Easter eggs that they're giving us with like the Binars and stuff like that. Like I know that this is going to be maybe like a season finale finish thing. Like we're gonna figure things out. Doubt. But I mean, maybe doing one per episode is a bit much. Maybe only have it come back like every other episode or something like that. I mean, maybe, but it doesn't bug me that much. It actually gives a reason for the plot to progress, because remember, they were on Ferenginar because a Ferengi ship disappeared. They were investigating the Binar ship disappearing. So, I mean, it kind of gives a reason for the plot to progress, and they're kind of chasing it down.
From Betazoid Intelligence were on the Cerritos because of their investigation, really. So
it just seems to be the same thing, and nothing is necessarily progress from.
I think you're focusing on the wrong
at the end of the episode.
I did at the end of the episode. You're right.
If they didn't have like a single MO, it wouldn't make sense for anybody to ever like see a pattern or find, suspect the threat. So to
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
go in that direction with it, it has to kind of be one MO, the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Federation will let anything happen until until it becomes an actual problem.
Yeah. I
Databases,
like
everything.
seeing
Oh, go ahead.
I like seeing cartoon characters getting killed as well. For some reason, I find it reasonably satisfying. Everything important this season could be boiled down to about 5 minutes. There's that optimism I love from Daniel Vance.
Did you see the end of the episode? Did you fall asleep during the episode?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, because you keep on talking about them killing people.
End of the episode. Sorry, yeah, we are doing spoilers here. It was Jeffrey Combs' device being put back into stasis again, and he's back in prison. That's how the episode ended, correct?
But they were also showing the fact that the ships were not being destroyed; they were being kidnapped.
Did I miss that?
Yeah,
missed it.
Yeah,
That's the big plot point there, motherfucker. That's a big plot point.
Okay, fair enough. How did I miss that? Might have fallen asleep. Who knows?
I mean, it wasn't even a
images
credit
looked
scene.
blurry, like intentionally, so to imply it's the footage from Agamis's drones and probably some scrambling from
Because
the mystery
that particular race, which was salvaging parts, they were salvaging it from destroyed ships that was destroyed by that entity. Yeah.
Yes.
They were
But they were kidnapping the
salvaging.
aliens. Okay, not killing them. Damn it! I'm pissed off about that.
Must have nodded off.
I might have.
Sleepy Sam.
You guys don't help.
No,
Is that what we don't help?
You guys are the cure for insomnia right now. I'm gonna fucking fall asleep on you in 5 minutes. Let's keep it going.
Listen, asshole.
Yeah.
Listen. There we go. Continue, Mage.
He's the one bringing up stuff that we're not talking
I'm
about.
sorry. I'm just defending my corner here.
No, I'm not trying to have a play-by-play or anything. I figured that, the
Key points, yeah?
Key points. So, kind of, you guys have any... Somebody said Section 31, right, as far as kicking around a theory. Did one of you guys say that yet?
I mean, I said it could be, but I don't think it is.
What the fuck, guys? Section 31 for me is vague as fuck. People talk about them so often, like they're hardly in Star Trek, for fuck's sake.
They're the boogeyman, basically. You hear about it, but don't see it, except in DS9 and a little bit in it. But just for some reason, that transporter clone Boimler popped in my head, and I'm like, we haven't seen him at all, and weren't they recruiting him to Section 31? And I'm like, oh, what if that's how we see him? What if he's the one piloting this mystery ship?
But here's my point. Like, why? Like,
what would they gain from abducting or destroying the ships? They would gain a lot more by taking them. But what would be the plot? What would they be trying to accomplish?
My opinion is that this alien vessel, this whatever it may be, you have no idea if the people controlling it are organic or synthetic. But nevertheless, I think they're from the future. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. It does look futuristic and sleek.
With the technology they have as well and everything, and the way that they're able to just take care of everybody and anybody that they confront. Nobody's challenging them whatsoever. They're able to take away the personnel, destroy their ships, and move on like nothing has happened. So I think they're from the future. They've got superior technology.
Yeah. Do you think it's
makes sense?
Do you think it's Future Mariner?
Future Mariner? Why the fuck would she want to do that?
I don't know.
passed herself something interesting to do.
That would be hilarious.
I don't know. Isn't there some sort of toy collector museum type guy within Lower Decks that we've come across in the past? Maybe
They've shown a collector, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe this guy's collecting, alien races, and this is how he does it. Maybe he's from a future. Oh, maybe he's from a future where they're all wiped out, and he's trying to repopulate that future.
He came back in time and he's trying to get the whales. It's like Star Trek 4, but the reverse. Like the future is now coming back in time and trying to bring the races to the future after whatever, catastrophe happened. So it's like Star Trek 4, but in reverse. And the alien races are the whales. Daniel Vance says, the only question I have is what the Black Mountain in that was referred as Badgy became a god. He said he might go to, okay, I'm going to read it from over here. Black Mountain that was referred to by Badgy became a god. He said he might go see the Q or go back to the Black Mountain. I don't know. Black Mountain.
I'm not sure how you guys feel about. Sorry,
is that one of the things that Shax was talking about when he was explaining to Rutherford the starting to about what happens when you die? And
might have been. That does sound familiar.
And then the turbo lift went up and that it cuts. I was hoping Daniel Vance would know. I was hoping he would know what the reference was because it was bugging me that I didn't know. But that was the one thing I could think of is that it's a self-reference. They did more of those this episode than straight up references to other Star Trek, which I appreciate. It doesn't all have to be me. Lol, hey, remember, doesn't have to all be member berries.
By the way, Badgy, has he been there from season 1?
Yes, I believe it was like late season 1.
Okay, so he's become a recurring character every season.
Maybe not anymore. I mean, he might be a.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you guys feel about this? I mean, this is obviously progression for his character. At the same time, like, he's become, an omnipotent, sentient being, godlike creature. Like, what the fuck? I mean, he already became that once he became some sort of code where he was able to infiltrate everything in every part of the universe. And now he's become like a god. Like I don't know, like what we're gonna get from Badgy in the future if we do see him in season 5. Like it's absolutely bizarre. And we also got a Badgy of today, like which is called Goodgy, which I thought was genius. By the way, absolutely genius.
I wouldn't say it's name. Genius.
No, it's genius because Badgy was a bad, and that's why he's called Badgy. But it's also bad.
Wordplay.
Yeah, it's also bad as well. So
then there's logic-y, and then
there's double meaning to it. So calling him Good G was genius, and Logic-y G as well was fucking great. Rest in peace. I love that as well. I was laughing my arse off. That's why we had a few Badgies more, which was I thought they were going to go down the spaghetti western route, personally, but now it makes sense what they were doing with this. So, yeah, but it was such a crazy, bizarre episode. Rutherford breaking the rules, I thought that would come back to haunt him. But no, I mean, in Star Trek, I think you're allowed to break the rules if it means that what you're doing works out. So I guess for Rutherford, it did work out. So, yep, you're not going to get reprimanded.
No, not if you're main cast.
Yeah, if you're main cast, you get away with anything.
No, I mean, look, I'm just saying, like, if you break the rules and somehow what you were doing ends up benefiting everybody, then I guess you get away with it, and I think that's something we've seen countless times in Star Trek. Break the rules and fuck up, and you'll probably go to jail. Break the rules and get whatever. The worst case scenario is that if you're an admiral, you get demoted to captain. Worst case scenario.
But is that really that big of a punishment? Captains are the ones that go around to do stuff.
I mean, look at Michael Burnham. She fucking broke the rules all the fucking time. During disco. I mean, it was just part of her DNA. And what was the worst case scenario for her? Did she get? I mean, even what's her face? Her commanding officer, the guy from the Mummy movies, like he appreciated Michael Burnham for being this rule breaker. I mean, he was fine with it. So he actually went over Saru's head and didn't reprimand her. Love it. Rule breaking is what it. I mean, to be a rule breaker is part and parcel of Starfleet. They it's their code. Break the fucking rules.
So we talked a little bit about, you brought it up, Zam, how they paired off the two, the different pairs we've never seen before. I really like Rutherford and Mariner together.
Yeah, I think we've seen Tindy and Boimler together, but never
never this much like this episode.
But we've never seen Rutherford and Mariner together. That's for
not
sure.
All. And they work together. It's great. He's serious-ish, in the worrisome kind of way, and then she is her, and they play off each other really well.
Well, he's trying to solve problems with his mind. I mean, it's not. I don't say about logic. Yeah, she's trying to solve problems with her fists, and he's trying to resolve problems with science and logic, so to speak. Because there were some clever moments by Rutherford in this. He really, he was thinking outside the box more than just being a scientist. He was very, very smart moments from him. He did himself a lot of favors today.
Yeah, just thinking to hug Badgy and try to solve it without violence initially, and try to talk things out. Yeah. Anything else about the Badgy plot runner that you guys were particularly enjoyed or wanted to talk about?
No, I mean,
we saw the koala, by the way, which
we did see the koala as Badgy ascended. That I loved it.
I don't know if we're ever going to get answers for that until this show ends.
You know it's going to be God, right? It's going to be God in the center of the galaxy, or the center of the galaxy. In Shakari.
We already have deities in the Q continuum. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But I mean, that God can pick any form. He even said in Star Trek 5, I think he even said it, that he can. This is a familiar form for you. That's why he picked it.
Okay, I mean, just so we're clear here, it's a god, which is the god, but not necessarily the god of any particular religious sector.
I am saying that it is the god. I'm thinking the koala is the god from Star Trek 5. Whether you consider that wasn't even god?
That wasn't even a god. That was just an alien.
Well, I'm just saying. That's what I think it is. I think he picked whatever form he wanted, and he picked a koala. It's got that same aura to it.
Koala seems to have more to it than some alien stuck on a planet trying to leave on a starship. If you know what I mean.
What does a koala need with a starship anyway?
Yeah, well said. So exactly. So the koala doesn't. It seems to be here and there, but I'm not even sure if Lower Decks themselves, the writers of Star Trek, even know what's going on with this koala yet. That might be in the pipeline for a few years to come. But as I said, I don't think we'll get a resolution to this until the series finale. The series, not the season, the series finale. So that's where I'm looking. Yeah.
Finally,
that's a big
most important question will be answered.
So. Yeah,
so
for sure.
The other plot runner this week was the Tindy and Boimler heading to the Daystrom Institute to get intel from Agamas about the attacks, and for Tindy to hear Peanut Hamper's parole hearing.
A batch of badgies. Welcome, Dave.
Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us.
I was thinking to myself, surely they can't be this naive, You know, what I mean, like Peanut Hamper is like, you know, faked her, faked faked herself regarding being somebody who's changed. You know, I think she's done that before. So I'm surprised Tindy was so gullible on that, and obviously Boimler was less so. By the way, he's already dealt with Jeffrey Coombs's Jeffrey Coombs in the previous season, so he was very much aware. So, yeah.
I like that in the end, Peanut Hamper was sincere and they didn't redo the Peanut Hamper fakes a change of heart thing, because it would have been more of the same and a retread. And honestly, glad that she wasn't in there a ton. What else can you do with
I think she needs to be killed off, personally.
Me too. Me too.
I'd like to put her in a machine that compresses her into a square little cube. I love that you all love it, but I truly hope this one hits the chopping block and we get another series replacement. My season rating drops each episode at this point. Oh, bah humbug. Daniel Vance. This is a fantastic show, man. I love it.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, man, but man, Lower Decks feels it's like an old Trekkies reward, like just with all the Easter eggs and the fun, and
it's good to be able to laugh at yourself a little bit. Yeah, I totally agree with Cheeto regarding this being, something for long-time Star Trek fans to be able to look back at hundreds of episodes and pick out certain elements and just laugh at it, and also then again appreciate some of the cleverness of what Lower Decks brings to Star Trek. It's more than just jokes. It's very weird. I mean, like just the Jeffrey Combs thing, like when his robot turns from red to blue. I got a way of proving myself to be good. I never laughed so much. It was just a simple thing, but you've seen it before. It's a bit like
it's comforting.
It just recently we saw it in Obi-Wan when young Leia, she has that little robot, that little droid that flies around, and he got corrupted by the Empire, so its light turned from red to blue, so from blue to red, and she managed to take away that little corruption, and it turned back to blue again. That's just I love that. That was just so genius, absolute genius. Need more of that sort of stuff. That is just a very, very good joke that has been done to death in sci-fi.
No, it's a great trope, and the way that they just sort of bought into it cracked me up. But Boimler playing Agamus again, I like that. I enjoy when he's not completely bumbling. I think that's nice. I also enjoyed that.
He's a problem solver, Boimler.
He really is at the core.
It's cool, and these are sort of challenges that he's very good at. We saw in that Borg ship challenge how he wanted 100% so badly, and and he just saving all those babies and God knows what. So
retrying it over and over
exactly.
and over, and he had to give up his 100% run. He had to go and do it again.
And we saw him on DS9 winning all that money, and he's able to he win the challenge is not necessarily. I think I don't want to say necessarily going to cost his life, because he can be a bit cowardly, but there's more to Boimler than meets the eye. Like he's not just a sniveling baby that runs around and doesn't do things. He is up for a challenge for sure.
That he is. The jokes about prison, like the stereotypical prison scenes that we got with the robots and AI, I thought was just great. Like they got a garden, they were lifting weights. Lifting weights because it's prison. The movie night. So they kind of, they ended up hopping from place to place. What did you think of the planet that he conquered super fast using the drones?
I love Blimler's comment about, oh,
Yeah.
this is oh no, this is terrible. Something that the Federation couldn't fix in an hour. I was like, yes.
That was a great gag. Because we've seen it
That's
so
why
many
they're so
times.
nonchalant. I feel like they know, like, look, this you can't do anything that really would irrevocably, damage the Federation that we couldn't fix in an hour. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Badgy, on the other hand, Badgy could do some damage, but
this is where Boimler is very comfortable in his own skin, and he knows his shit, and so yeah, even he's dealing with a crazy artificial life form. Boimler he just feels good enough to be able to be one step ahead of it, and he is. I mean, like, they're taking things in their stride. I mean, they're building sandcastles in Ecuador, for fuck's sake. I mean, they were. And Tindy's all cool with it too, like
She's never experienced real sand before. Apparently on Orion, all they have are like sharp pebbles.
Yeah, we have pebbles as well in some of our beaches in London not London, in southern England. Fucking terrible they are. But yeah.
Says
that was
Douglas said we have sandy beaches.
yeah.
Snap, who the fuck wants to see them?
we have sandy beaches. It's all coarse and gets everywhere.
Just so you know, like when I'm cabbing and I end up on coastal parts of England, I do have to get the old camera phone out. And look, there's the sea, there's the ocean. It's always amazing for me.
Any other aspects of that plot runner that you guys want to talk about?
Well, we saw Peanut Hamper's dad, which was a bit weird.
Yes, how does an exocomp have a dad?
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing. That's where I kind of lost me with and as I said, and anything Peanut Hamper is just abysmal. Like, I like exocoms, but Peanut Hamper is just the worst.
Hold on, this is a weird comment here because I have Paramount Plus. Project new season was picked up by Netflix. There'll be more Star Trek content on Netflix in 2024 than there is on Paramount Plus. Look, this is what I don't get. I thought Paramount owned Star Trek.
Technically, Paramount technically Prodigy was a joint venture between Nickelodeon and Star Trek, and I think technically Nickelodeon owns it. So I think Nickelodeon is the one that shopped it out to Netflix.
That's just so crazy. It's like it's like the character of Spider-Man. Sony owns it, and obviously Marvel wants a piece of that pie again because it was their original character, but they have to go with Sony because they own it. I just thought that Star Trek, regardless of what the premises of the show may be, if it is Star Trek, whether it be Prodigy, Voyager, original series, whatever, it's Paramount. I'm kind of surprised that it's able to be on Netflix. But not only that, what is Daniel Vance saying here is that there'll be more content on Netflix than there will be on Paramount Plus.
I doubt that.
Paramount Plus has everything.
I think he means that there won't be any new Star Trek content released in 2024 on Paramount Plus, but they will have the second season of Prodigy.
I think
that's how I was reading that.
I'm pretty sure we're obviously getting Discovery at the beginning of next year for sure. What is it, February? Didn't they give us a date for Discovery? I thought they did, but I thought it was like February or something like that. So we're definitely getting that. We're definitely going to get Lower Decks season 5. We're definitely going to get Strange New World season 3. Yes, there was kind of a delay with the writer's strike, but even the actor's strike, but I don't think it's going to hold up that we don't get content.
When you have a cliffhanger like that on season 2, we gotta have a seat. You can't cancel a show like that. And if anything, if Strange New World got cancelled, considering it's probably one of the most best appreciated Star Trek shows of all of them, then
I wouldn't say that. I would say Lower Decks is more appreciated than Strange New Worlds.
I think Lower Decks is more appreciated by people like us who are hardcore Star Trek fans. But there are people out there who don't really appreciate it like we do.
Movies?
Sorry?
I'm reading Daniel Vance's next comment here. Sorry. He says that next month we'll be getting all the movies as well. I don't...
that's only like, 15 films or whatever. Like, even if that's the case, 15 films it's not the same as hundreds and hundreds of episodes. Is it thousands of episodes or just hundreds?
I think it's
hundreds.
Over 1,000 now.
No, I think I thought it was or did they hit their 1,000th episode? Hold on. Why does it not tell me? Internet, tell me. Well, it's like it's all the stupid stuff. I'm about to say, yeah, Daniel Vance just confirmed. It's close to 1,000 episodes or just over at this point. It's close. Like 901. All series is
I've got 902.
I did not think that we had hit over 1,000 yet, because I figured they would make a big deal out of like the 1,000th episode of Star Trek. But yeah, we're over 900 now.
Yeah, so it's getting there. So yeah, and we've several shows coming out at the same time, like within each other. Like usually we'd wait a year or so, but now you're waiting a few months for the next Star Trek series. So
it's a wonderful thing.
It's just churning out. But then again, at the same time, you would get 22 episodes of TNG per season, but we're not getting. Those days are long gone. So
yeah, TV's just a completely different thing now. I was
thinking
to myself how nuts it is the other night, but.
Regarding budget now, if you instead of having 22 episodes and spreading your budget across that, have 8 episodes or 10 episodes and then use that entire budget for that, and you have a better looking show than shitty sets like you did on TNG. So
I mean, that's what they're doing, though. I mean, that's why Star Trek looks so good.
No, don't get me wrong. That is what they're doing now. So shorter series, and use the budget for that instead of like spreading it across 22 episodes.
And keep in mind, we essentially are getting just as much Star Trek as we did back in the 90s. Like, if you think episode wise, like not series wise, yes, we have got more series running concurrently than we ever have had before. But technically, if you look at the episode counts, we're essentially getting around 30.
We're getting more. We're getting more, Cheeto. Like this year alone, what have we had? We've had Picard. We've had Prodigy.
So 10 episodes. 10 episodes.
Yeah, we've had Strange New Worlds.
10 episodes.
And we're gonna have Lower Decks. So we're gonna have like 40 episodes of
exactly.
Star Trek.
But at the height of Star Trek in the 90s, when DS9 and when DS9 was running and or TNG and Voyager, we were getting about 53, I want to say, episodes per season. There were what's 26 and 26? Like 52?
52.
So we were getting around 52 episodes per year of Star Trek between
was it 26 episodes a season? Well, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah. I mean, some of them had less. Like the first season of Voyager only had 18. But the first season of Voyager only had 18. I know that the original series had, but regardless, right around 24, 26. So
Paramount and Paramount Plus are two different entities. So it's Disney and Disney Plus, two different entities. I know I'm just being silly, but I just couldn't help myself say that. I get what you're saying, Cheetah. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So I mean, we're getting just about the same amount of Trek, but it's over. And I prefer it that way. I think it's great to have this kind of variation where we have
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks and even Picard and Discovery and even Prodigy. Like, you know, we are getting the most varied Star Trek we've ever had ever, and I love it. I love the variation and the different ideas.
It's like a potluck. There's something there for everybody, even
Mhm.
if, like, say Daniel Vance isn't enjoying this as much anymore. You know, there's other things at the table in case.
Well, okay, and Daniel Vance brought up this comment about Stewart is pushing hard for a Picard movie, not a TNG revival movie, but a true Picard movie. Why?
No, that's it.
Why?
You ended that poker game at the end of season 3 was the greatest. It was a fantastic send off.
I don't.
We had all the original crew around that one table having a laugh and a joke together. I couldn't have asked for a better ending for TNG.
I don't mind if they do like the legacy show
Cameos.
Yeah, like cameos. I don't mind that, but no, we don't need a Picard movie. I'm sorry, we don't. Give us something else. Give us the Romulan War movie. Give us another movie that is, you know, that's after make Star Trek Legacy a movie. I mean, if they're not going to do a show, then at least maybe do a movie or something. You know, like
we got Jack Picard or the Jack Crusher. Regardless, he's the legacy. He's like the baton pass, so we can focus on him. You know, in future
and
Picard series.
Like Q's back with him, which, by the way, and I called that, and I'm so happy that happened. I'm sorry, Q dying at the end of season 2 was so stupid. Q dying.
But on top of that, like Patrick Stewart, if they do get a film off the ground, he might be close to like 85, 86. But by the time that shit happens, it's
You know what I mean? Let us
if he
have it. Go ahead.
If he has to do the film in a wheelchair, it'll just, you know, everybody will get mixed up, think they're looking at his X-Men movie.
And look, as somebody who is a massive Indiana Jones fan, it just doesn't work. You could bring the character back, but that doesn't mean that it works the same way that, you know, when they're at the age of a fucking pensioner. You know, when he did Kingdom of Crystal Skull, he was actually in physically good shape, Harrison Ford. You know, for a man in his 60s, you know, he still looked pretty good. But when he did Dial of Destiny, he was, you know, knocking on 80. And Patrick Stewart will be now knocking on 85. Like, come on, man. You can't be our leading man at that age, you know, and make a film that is edge of your seat stuff at that age. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong in being an elderly person leading a movie, but when it comes to your frills and spills, as seen by Harrison Ford, if you're too old to do that sort of role, then fucking find a successor. You know, so and the Star Trek film will always be like a high octane, you know, action centric sort of thing, for sure. Most of the time, nearly all the time. So I think apart from Star Trek 4, I think they're all being kind of action orientated. So
yeah, and one.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No,
Meg, do you have any other points you want to bring up, or?
I was gonna say how much I thought it was hilarious that Agamus was kind of kissing up to Peanut Hamper's father.
See, I didn't. I thought that
cracked me up. I don't know. I like the personification. He's just acting like a normal person.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid. I mean, it's funny, but it's. I thought it was. I'm like, really? Are we doing this low hanging fruit here? You know, like I don't know.
It is kind of low hanging fruit.
I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was kind of stupid, but I mean, if you enjoyed it, hey, happy for you, man. Like, but not me.
I didn't know what to make of it personally, but it is what
We're
it is.
We're just friends. You know what? He's gonna replicate himself a penis and go for it.
Penis hamper.
Penis hamper, yeah.
And then make little robot babies like batteries not included.
I love those little robots and batteries not included. That's a great movie. I mean, it's a terrible movie.
One of Steven Spielberg's hidden gems, in my opinion. Fantastic film. I loved it.
Yeah, it was what it was for the time.
I've not seen it.
Oh, you got to see it's a cute little movie. Like it's good. I'd watch it if I were you.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's also a fuck you to like big industry and corporations, with the small apartment block, wanting to be taken over by by these people who want to build this massive highway or whatever, and the people they're trying to stop it, and then these robots come into their lives, and yeah, it's just it's a really good show. It's a really nice film, heartwarming. Steven Spielberg
Okay.
at his best.
Okay, Daniel Vance
Temporal
says
Conquest.
Temporal Cold War with legacy cameos. Viewing audiences are ready for time travel mind twists. Shenanigans! Listen, I just want to see President Chekhov is what I want to see. If we do legacy
Anton
characters, I want to see
Chekhov.
President Chekhov.
And Anton Chekhov, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw him that was in Picard. He would have been. I mean, but then again, people in that era, they can live into their hundreds. So fair enough.
Okay, so we have the poll up
Just now, I hit the button.
just now.
Yep.
Okay, poll is up. Let's go counterclockwise now, and we'll do final thoughts and ratings. What kind of marks are you going to give this week's episode, Sam?
It's really weird because I have enjoyed this episode, but I never really marking it. Just seems like, what do I give it? Like, I thought the main plot was great, but I thought the subplot was, pun included, subpar. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as the main plot. I like the fact that we finally got Rufford and Mariner as a team. For once, that was pretty good. Yeah, it's hard to mark. I mean, a part of me wants to give it an 8. Part of me wants to give it a 7. So I'm going to do this rare occasion where I'm going to give it a half mark and go with 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, freaking half marks. Get out of here. I'm going to be decisive and give it an 8.
An 8? Okay.
I really enjoyed this episode, and Peanut Hamper being in it, as little as she was still did not kill the episode for me. She cannot deter me from my love from Jeffrey Combs at all.
Yeah, so just to add to my comment as well, like, I don't know how I feel about Peanut Hamper being this godlike creature.
Not Peanut Hamper. Badgy.
Badgy. Yeah, I mean, I know we got Good G as well, but Badgy being this being, it's good that characters have an arc, and this is his arc. But yeah, I'm very indecisive on how I feel about that. So yeah,
the Badgy stuff in general just kind of was not explained much. It's just kind of, it's happening, we roll with it, and it's okay because the audience at the end of the day just has to roll with it despite whatever technobabbles listed.
One more thing, like, he is a hologram, and at one point, even though he created holograms, he created alternative versions of himself, they are also holograms, and they seem to be roaming around without holo emitters outside of that ship. So that bugged me too. I think that when Good G was on the Cerritos.
They have holo emitters in the cargo bay now.
Well, they do. Yeah. Like they've even said, I think that they've even said that hologram emitters have been retrofitted. It's standard issue across the ship.
That means rogue AI holograms can leave the holodeck and cause chaos on the rest of the ship. I mean, that's just dangerous in my opinion.
Well, let's be real. That really only happens on TNG. I mean,
and Voyager.
Did Rogue?
I think that happened on Voyager.
I guess it did happen on Voyager.
Yeah.
When you had like the episode where the Hirogen put the holo emitters all over the ship and expand it, and they're using it as a way to do hunts without.
Yeah, but they became Nazis, didn't they? Shit like that, and yeah. they were using the holodecks for hunting, weren't they? So
They were using it to
yeah,
do their hunt, and the one wanted to use it to do non-lethal, and they were like, "What's wrong with you? We have to. We don't risk dying. It's not really the Herodian
because
hunt."
it's not just like the actual like you take off safety protocols and you cause an explosion in the holodeck that will just basically explode part of the fucking ship from within the ship. So and having these holo emitters will make that more likely. So yeah, I think having holo emitters fitted around the ship is not a clever idea. I think a holo emitter should be given to a hologram, like they did with the Doctor, but
Oh, but that was
that's the
future
way.
tech.
Future tech,
No, I agree. But if you can
but
put
they
holo
could
emitters around the ship, they can obviously figure out a way of eventually minimalizing it to put it onto a hologram.
That's not. I mean, that's not exactly how
Well,
holograms work. Which I mean,
but now the emitter of the future is back. I mean, I'm sure they've opened it up and fucking figured out how it works, and now they can just make a whole bunch of them. So,
unless the
I'm just saying.
technology is not available.
Sorry.
Unless the technology is not available.
like it
Yeah, but
might
we're
need
talking.
a compound or alloy that they don't know how to synthesize yet.
Yeah, fair enough. We're talking sci-fi here, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, ideally, it would be better to give an emitter to an individual hologram or holograms than having emitters around where rogue AI holograms can cause a lot of havoc. That's just my
No,
opinion.
you're not wrong. You're not
No, I
wrong. You're
mean you're not
absolutely
wrong at all.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So when I initially watched it, I thought I was going to give it a 9, actually. But in the process of reviewing it, it was hard to talk about the episode. Like, I feel like we had to stretch to find things to kind of discuss. It was entertaining, but not a ton happened. So for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8. I really enjoyed seeing Rutherford and Mariner together, like you did too, Zam. I feel like seeing the combination we've never had before is, interesting, a new dynamic. Jeffrey Combs being on an episode is always a plus. It's like the Vince McMahon meme where the woo gets more and more intense every time.
Yeah, you can tell he's having a good time and he's playing up his
Oh yeah,
character and everything. And he's Star Trek royalty, Jeffrey Combs. So,
oh yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that's been our review of Star Trek: The Lower Decks, Season 4, Episode 7. Thank you to everybody who's joined us in the chat this evening. Thank you to anybody who comes along and watches the VOD down the line. Were we off the mark? Are we right? Let us know in the comments what you think. Maybe give the video a like and maybe subscribe. We have a lot of different stuff going on here on NerdTube, not just Star Trek. We talk about Star Wars. You guys have been reviewing the Continental, that show in the world of John Wick, correct, Sam?
We did, yeah. We just did. We did finish reviewing that. I've got. I highly recommend it. By the way, episode 3 is real high octane stuff. It was fun watching that. If you see the John Wick films, then you will enjoy the Continental. I have a video coming out very shortly on the Mayans. I've just binge watched 5 seasons of that. That was fantastic. If you've seen Sons of Anarchy, then watch that. We also just done recently a 10-year anniversary special of the Harlem Shake, which was probably, in my opinion, the greatest internet trend viral sensation thing that has ever happened, when things were a lot more innocent back then and people wouldn't lose their shit over craziness, but actually appreciate it.
Just the era of fun and nostalgia.
Yes, exactly. So, hello there, Mr. System. And yeah, just like there's all kinds of stuff. I've just started binge watching Only Murders in the Building season 3. So once I finish that, hopefully within the week we'll get a review of season 3 for you as well. So myself and Ginger Greek probably. So yeah, there's all types of stuff coming out. So stay tuned to this channel.
Yeah, also don't forget we're doing all Halloween fan films this month. Spooky horror films. Woo!
Oh, we're fine, thank you, Mr. System.
We're just wrapping up.
Just wrapping up, unfortunately.
But you can go back and watch the whole thing again if you want.
Yeah, and there's a couple of trailer reactions as well on our channel too. So yeah,
and we've got tomorrow's Friday night World's Gone Insane. Let's talk about it podcast too.
It mainly we focus. Majority of it, I think, will be focusing on the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Yeah.
And just a quick thing here: Hamas isn't Palestine. Please understand that. Yeah, so don't get the conflicted. Peace on all sides here. Need to stop this tragedy from continuing. And look, basically, very quickly, it feels like 9/11 again when everybody's out for blood. We need to calm our shit down a little bit and come to a resolution immediately, or we're going to have fucking prolonged war again, for another 2 decades. So yeah, let's just try and find a resolution to all of this situation, and maybe end the occupation as well. That'd be great. All right. Yeah. So that's tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that. We'll be giving our opinions and breaking things down for you for sure.
So plenty of reasons to subscribe to NerdTube. Lots of variety of stuff to check out here. So consider giving us a subscribe. We're the greatest channel that you've sort of kind of heard of. Thank you, Awake Zam, aka Chugs and Cheeto. And thank you, Sleepy Zam, for being here tonight. It wouldn't be a Trek episode review without you fellas.
Thank you very much.
Good night, and thank you to everyone in the audience. Live long and prosper.